I grew up in a Christian home, Christian family, and then it wasn't until I moved away and went to college that I stopped going to church just because I didn't really want to get up early on a Sunday morning. It was easier to sleep in, just have fun and hang out with friends. I stopped hanging around others who believed and who went to church, and eventually I considered myself more of an atheist or agnostic. Started questioning whether I believed, what I believed, whether there was a God. So a lot of the times when I asked my family and friends why they believed in God and why they were Christians, they would say stuff like, the Bible says so. But I realized that the friends and family I had didn't really seem to know why they were Christian except that they had been raised that way. And so I didn't think that was a very good reason for why I should be Christian, because if I had been raised something else, then I would just be something else. So when I was at school, I noticed that there were a lot of people who said they were Christian, but I would have never guessed it if they hadn't told me. So I met another guy at school named Garrett. I could tell that he had done research on what he believes and also why he believed. So I could ask him a lot of questions, and I talked to him about a lot of things that I had doubted. He had well thought out responses for why he believed, and he had heard a lot of the objections that I brought up before and wasn't caught off guard. He had good responses. He knew how to answer me. So that got me thinking a lot more about Christianity again. He invited me to a conference about whether God exists or not. The speaker was Frank Turek, and so I decided I would go check it out, and I felt like he did a very good job of presenting some clear arguments and scientific reasons to why there's a God. And he wrote a book called I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist. It introduced me to some topics that I hadn't really looked at before. It made a lot of sense to me. One of the points that struck me as interesting was, how could something come from nothing if the universe hasn't been around forever? That got me thinking, why did it start at that point? You know, what caused it to start? I kind of thought, there's a God that could have done that. To me, that seemed like an idea that made sense. I think the book brought up a lot of interesting topics regarding the beginning of the universe, and I think it opened my eyes to the fact that there are arguments for believing in God, as well as the fact that there's a lot of uncertainty regarding atheism as well. I started talking to Garrett again and asking him about the questions that I'd had, so he invited me to go to church with him. After looking into why I believe what I believe, it was a lot more meaningful to go to church because it was something that I believed in, not just something that my family or my parents believed in and wanted me to do with them.